is talking about Zen meditation, or a type of Zen meditation, open awareness. Zazen is completely different from other meditations. It is not a matter of philosophical or metaphysical discussion. All we have to do is do what we're doing right now, right here. Whatever kind of experience we have through Zazen is secondary. Whatever happens, all we have to do is to be constantly present, not small undertaking, right in the middle of the process of Zazen. This is the beginning and also the end. You can do it. It is open to all people, whoever they are. It's a nice book. Put it many years ago. The art of just sitting. I think I'm gonna have another look. It's been a while. Is it time? Yeah. I'll need another pen, I think. Are you working, my friend? Let me see. Hello? Yeah. And then I can put the glass here. The art of just putting the glass. Hello. I thought today to do, how did I call it? Feel, a class about the possibility of developing a higher sensitivity in feeling, but also a steadier mind while doing so. I sat here because I figure maybe this is a common setup. You are in your sofa, you have your computer. Maybe you just had it on your lap, watching something, you put it there. Take the hand off the mouse and place it on your knee. And rest it heavy. Can you feel, let's start with your right hand. And I'm not asking you to feel something in particular, but just the feeling of the hand being alive in its resting state. If you don't look at it, if you don't touch it, if you don't move it, can you feel your hand? And then the other one can be on the same place, can be on a different place. You can do this formally in a meditation posture. I'm sitting, leaning with my back against the cushions. Try to be straight-ish, but you can be relaxed. You can be sitting in your sofa. There is no need to go to the mat. If it feels good, yeah. Occupy a proper meditation posture, straighten up. Feel your back aligned and independent without rest if your hips don't hurt. But other than that, whichever is your position, feel your right hand, feel your left hand. Maybe you need to do a little bit like the old stereos that they went to the left channel and then the right channel, and then maybe for a bit you can feel both channels. And if you have experience, you can feel both hands at the same time. There's a certain vibration, there's a certain temperature. Often they feel a little different. We are all right-handed or left-handed, which means that one of the hands works more. But also lately we manipulate a lot of electronic devices, the mouse in the computer, the telephone. So the handling hand feels sometimes a little fuller or denser, the wrist as well. And then feel your forearms. I think most of us, when we move attention, we do it continuously, yeah? So you are moving from the hand to the wrist, moving up the forearm, if that is the direction that you're choosing. And when you do a meditation practice based on feeling, you're actually paying attention to two things simultaneously, several things simultaneously. But you have the actual sensitivity to feel, and then you have the continuity with which you can maintain that focus or that connection with the feeling. Now my mind is moving towards my elbows, and as I'm speaking with you, I feel two types of discontinuities in the flow of attention through the arm. One is because my mind goes somewhere else. It flickers back and forth. And the other one is because inevitably some areas in your body, they will feel a little darker, a little further. So the two things together, they create a map of sensitivity and awareness in your body. And over time, if you practice regularly, you tend to know which are those darker areas, and you tend to catch as well quicker when your mind moves away from your body very radically. Sometimes it kind of separates a little and comes back. Sometimes it really goes away to a past event or to the anticipation of a future one. Keep moving your attention towards your shoulders. I got so much water in my sinuses today. And the same. Feel one arm, then feel the other one. Then see if you can synchronize both at the same time. And as your attention moves up towards the shoulder, once you reach all the way up, see if you can once again lift up the whole arm. If you can somehow feel the whole left arm, if you can somehow feel the whole right arm, if you can feel them simultaneously, and once you do that, if you can feel any difference. The feeling of difference is just to train your mind to spot contrast. It makes your meditation more interesting. We're going to do the same exercise from the feet up towards the hips. In my case, I'm in a cross-leg position. You might have your feet on the floor if you're sitting on a chair or a sofa. In the cross-leg position, there's a little bit more constriction to the flow of attention through sensation because often the legs get numb and big areas of the leg might have a very consistent, heavy feeling that sometimes makes it difficult to find details. One gets used to this, and also the pain and the numbness in the legs is not constant. It dissipates, it comes back, over time gets a little easier. Also, we do have higher sensitivity in the hands and arms because we see them, we touch, we grab things the whole time. The legs, much, but a little less. We do relate to our legs a lot, but a little less. So it's normal if the movement of attention from feet to hips goes a little slower, and if you encounter bigger areas that feel like they disappear. Just try. The crossing points, especially interesting, the junctions, so your ankles, your knees, your hips. Obviously, there's more sensitivity in the foot. If you have a little bit more experience, try not reduce your attention to the surface of the body. See if you can penetrate in the three-dimensional space inside the leg, as if, okay, let's look at my left thigh, as if I go through the inside of the leg and somehow I come out to the other side. You might not. It oscillates, the degree of sensitivity oscillates. You might not feel very clearly the difference when you pass from muscle to bone. You might feel the difference when you get into the joints. Some people might be more visual and feel shapes of organs, muscles, bones, etc. This is not what we're trying to do. If it happens, great. You're looking for the actual feeling, a visual image. Yeah. And then we're going to do the same to the rest, the torso, the neck, and the head. I think we're going to start from the top. So see if you can feel the top of your head, moving towards the left, moving towards the right, moving towards the front and towards the back. But first wait a little, and that point at the top of the head, see if you can stay with it until there is a clear feeling. And once that feeling is clear, move attention to the right, move attention to the left, move attention to the front and to the back. And then the face, the cheeks, space behind the eyes, the inside of the mouth, the jaws, the temples. And once again, rather than visual, rather than the feeling as a reaction to the image that we feel that our face might project externally, I want to feel the flesh, the feeling of the face from the inside out, the vibrance of the different sections of the spine and the sensory feedback that they send to my mind. And here we're going to change a little bit the order, and we're going to dive into the body, into the center of the body. The reason for this is that following the back of the tongue into the throat connects you directly with the feeling of the breathing and the movement of the diaphragm. And then from there, we're going to spread attention towards the front of the body, the sides, and the back. But as a transition into the torso from the face, it's tractor rush hour. As a transition from the head into the torso, rather than going externally, we do it sometimes, we're going to dive into the body. So start feeling your tongue and see how far back into the throat you can feel it. And as if you were swallowing, continue through the throat down towards chest, lungs, and diaphragm. And here you are received by a movement. Every piece of you is continuously moving, vibrating, is alive, yeah? So it's changing. Even if it's slowly, it's changing. So as a product of that change, there is continuous movement. But the breath and the heartbeat and the breathing create this clear macroscopic movement. So as your attention passes from external parts that also move but less to the central part of the body which moves very clearly, your observation is going to include the actual vibration in the body inside this bigger movement, which has a rhythm, it has a cadence. It's a cyclic pattern with these continuities and ups and downs. Then from the experience of the breathing, move forward to feel the front of the body, forward towards the chest, and then down towards the belly. Move towards the left, the space between heart and left arm, and then down towards the left hip. Move towards the right, and then down towards the right hip. And then I think more difficult for us, move towards the back. Upper back, middle back, lower back, left and right. See if you can spot something else that is not just discomfort or pain or the engagement of your muscles to maintain the posture. See if you can feel in your back that vibrance that we were feeling on our hands or on our feet. as you are listening, waiting for feedback, sometimes it delays. Sensory feedback is continuous, but the ability to recognize it is discontinuous. So, in your meditation practice, as I said before, you are training both your ability to feel and your ability to maintain awareness on that feeling. And there is a third layer. I didn't refer to it before, but I think now we can all relate. After 10, 15, 20 minutes, we start encountering our friend discomfort, pain, difficulties, issues, which means that besides the sensation that we're feeling, we start to feel another layer, the protest of our mind to that sensation. It is not just the pain or the discomfort, it's the complaint about it. It creates a thought layer, but it creates also a physical layer on top of the pain. So we have here the feeling, which is changing over time. The continuity with which we can maintain awareness of this feeling, which is also changing over time. As difficult physical sensations or even emotions appear in our meditation, when we encounter discomfort, we push it away as a habit. That creates another layer of physical sensations that we perceive it as the crust of the discomfort, solidifying it. So in your practice, you work a softer relationship towards this complaining habit, towards the protesting against a reality which I don't like. And as a training, as an exercise, instead, we practice the ability to absorb discomfort as a means to investigate, as a means to see what lies beyond discomfort and if it is moving in any way, which brings us to a fourth realization in our practice, that this whole thing, not just because my mind moves, but this whole thing, the combination of my mind touching my body and my body aging, changing, functioning, creates a reality that never stays the same, never stays the same. So all that I said before, if I told you observe your hand, or if I told you observe your breath, if I was speaking, I would say that what you wanna pay attention really is observe the way the sensations in your hand are changing. Now, this seems to insert in the meditation the time factor. And then you wonder, what about now? What about being present? But the minute you get connected with the feeling of change, the minute you start seeing a story unfolding, it's a miracle there that you get lost in the process and where the process is going and where the process came from starts to become a little irrelevant. So by seeing the way things change, it's like you open now to be more than just a picture, and you understand it as a movie. A little bit like going to a movie. If the movie is really good and it captures you, you don't realize it's a movie. You're so in it. Yeah, a little bit like that. So, sensitivity, continuity of awareness, equanimity when it comes to the reaction that we build around discomfort. And then as the minute pass, tuning more and more with the aspect of impermanence of this whole thing, how everything is shifting continuously. Let's do another round, now without so many words. Hands, fingers, top of the hand, palm, wrists, forearms, left and right. If you feel pushed to the top of the body, to the surface, that's all right. Try to go a little deeper, but if there is no permeability, that's all right. There will be maybe another day. If there is permeability, dive closer to the center of your body. Elbows and upper arms and shoulders. Feet again. Left foot, right foot, bridge, toes, top of the foot, ankles. Attention moves towards the knees, attention moves towards the hips. Bit by bit, slowly, one leg first, the other one second. As pain becomes a little more intense, I've been sitting in this position now for some 40 minutes, so I'm starting to feel it. Left hip, left ankle, left knee. You hear the protest of the mind, not only verbally, but whichever pain you feel is magnified. The minute you want to get rid of it, it becomes magnified. You start counting the seconds. So that mind energy, that desire to get rid of the pain, shifted towards inquisitiveness and curiosity. Dive into the pain, see if something changes, see if there is porosity to the density of the area that hurts, or what we say in class often, see if the energy moves. Hips, every once in a while, now it's happening, you have these waves of goosebumps through the body. Maybe not now, it will happen. Your mind is trying to move attention very organized, but your body has its own desires. So sometimes it connects different parts of the body, like waves of energy moving through. When this happens, feel free to follow the suggestions of the body rather than the program that you had set for yourself, and maybe change the order. We get to the torso, the belly, the chest, the head. Let's do it from bottom up this time. Hips, lower abdomen. You feel a little movement from the breath already. Maybe in the lower abdomen, you can actually dive in and feel the inside of the body. For women, a bit further down, you have your reproductive system. A little bit above, we have intestines, and both things, both are reproductive organs, and our intestines, we are in daily relationship. It's not a part of the body that feels very buried underneath. Every day we feel it. Through the movement of the belly, you start to connect with the upper abdomen, where the organs are dancing up and down at the movement of the diaphragm, moving, expanding in a more distance from each other, moving back together. Inhale, exhale. And then the chest, the lungs, the heart, full of movement. Not just internal, vibrational movement, but even bigger, external movement that you can see externally. We try to do the same with the back. Little trick here. Concentrate, be patient. If nothing else, feel the contact, in my case against the pillows, maybe against the cotton of your t-shirt. If you are independent from support, the back masseurs are engaged on a sitting practice, so that engagement also gives you feedback. Don't lose the sides, around the shoulder blades, towards the armpits. Connect with shoulders and collarbones. And then the neck. the face, the ears, the rest of the head. With the head, it's easier than other parts of the body to go in. Inside the ears, sinuses, behind the eyes, inside the mouth areas. Again, that we have a bit of a relationship. Things coming in and out. Chewing, moving, speaking, swallowing. Headaches. And then, before we finish, bring again your attention towards your breath, the movement of the diaphragm, the movement of the upper abdomen, the movement of the lungs, and then from this place, let's see if what I read before makes any sense. It is not a matter of philosophical or metaphysical discussion. All we have to do is what we are doing right now, right here. Whatever kind of experience we have through Zazen is secondary. Whatever happens, all we have to do is to be constantly present right in the middle of the process. This is the beginning and it's also the end. Dainin Katagiri, probably a Zen master. But if it feels good, continue a bit. If you need to decompress your legs, maybe lie down on Savasana for a little while. I have to switch off the live flow. It's kind of hard to get out of here once you settle it. I see you soon. Enjoy your evening.